The fourth step in the E5 trademark system is the examination step. And here is where all the hard work that went into that evaluation step, where you had that search done, and in that equip step where you prepared to file for your trademark application and then you actually filed for it, really pays off. The examination step includes three distinct phases. The first phase is going to be an examination by the trademark office. And as you saw in another video, that typically takes about 5 to 8 months. The second phase is a public examination. And as you also saw in a previous phase, that can take 1 to 5 months or even more. Ideally, it should only take 1 month because there's really a 30-day window for the public to do what's called oppose your mark. But that can be extended for various reasons by people who are either just messing with you or who really might have a legitimate reason to oppose your mark. And then there's this publication phase, and this is this autopilot, awkward, usually a month-and-a-half period where you're just waiting on your mark to publish, but it's not really actually registered yet. But let's go into these in a little bit more detail so you can see why and how, again, all that work that you did in that evaluate and equip steps paid off so much here in the examine step. First, within the trademark office, they're going to examine your application for really two things, whether it's going to be in the proper form and format, and then they're going to look at the substance of what you're asking for in that trademark application. As to the proper form, this ties directly back into what you prepared in the equip step, whether your trademark description is correct, whether the description of the goods and services that you're selling are correct, the sample that you submit, is it proper in the context of your descriptions and what you're showing. And then they're also going to look at the substance of what you're trying to register. Is it too similar to another mark, or is it just too generic to be allowed at all? And that boils down to this issue and this concept of the likelihood of confusion. Because remember, your mark isn't there to protect you, it's there to protect the consumer. In the public examination phase, that's the public's opportunity to comment on or object to your mark. It begins with this opposition period, what we were just talking about, that thing that could last for a month but could be extended. And here's what you're hoping against, and that's an opposition proceeding. An opposition proceeding is kind of like a little mini trial, and it can go so far as to take place in a trial format with the Trademark Appeals Board in Washington, D.C. Guess what? That's not cheap. So you hope when you're preparing these that this doesn't happen. But you can plan to keep it from happening by doing the right things in the evaluate step and the equip step. So I'm just going to keep going back to those over and over in these videos. The third phase is the publication phase that we've already discussed. Now, there's only one more step left in the E5 trademark system in this brief introduction. So we'll cover that next, and that's enforcement. What happens after you get your mark registered? And what happens if you catch somebody using your mark and you haven't registered it yet? We're going to cover those in the next video. See you there.